Will be my last time I use the word nigga in any song. The first time I get all the fakes to sing along. If every time I drop I'm going against the odds, this the last time I give you that dope. Free of charge, a million bars, influence a million soldiers at war. In my catalog, I'll probably sit in a plate of cigar. Dealing cards, my concept of deck is not involved. Why you scared to take chances just for my homies on broad? Selling Paulines and codeine on the corner like common. A dream Obama selling in this world just ain't common. I'm trying to paint the facts and leave the people astonished. The panoramic, this comet is moving faster than Sonic. They like Jesus, he go.
Alright, so my take on this is this one is for me, first of all, is dismissive. What can I say is I grew up in the States, but I'm originally from France.
Okay.
So I speak French like fluently. Okay. And you have like this ad for like French teachers too, when they say French native speaker.
Right.
But I was born speaking French. Okay. You know, like this my mother tongue. Oh. And for me to see that kind of ad or publication by those people, it's really dismissive because they feel like only those kind of like this category of people, or those maybe like the white French, only them can teach French.
Do you think that the media has a lot to do with that? Like movies and history books that they read that gives them that idea? Or is it something more? Is it more about image and money?
I mean,
the
thing you have to understand,
parents paying and the boss and the business partners.
No, the thing you have to understand first of all is
the blue eyes.
Is first of all the willingness is the willingness of the Chinese or the companies or I don't know those schools to continue in that direction. That is the problem because they know that we speak English, like this is our language. We are fluent in English. We can teach Chinese or whatever.
But you don't look like you speak English.
You don't look. Exactly. Exactly. And they have.
And that's my point. That's how limited their perspective is. It's like, how does a person who can speak English look? Yeah. How does a person who can speak French look?
This is an issue. This is not an issue.
No, I want orange juice.
This is China. It's a special place. It's more than 1 billion people. Very few countries are like this, like India, for example.
So it's like ground zero.
It's developing, but if you ask someone who's not from China, how does a Chinese speaker look like? What are they going to say to you?
Chinese.
They look Chinese. They look Chinese.
If you ask someone in China, what does a Chinese speaker look like to you? What are they going to say?
Chinese.
No. In Chinese, what are they going to say to you?
What does a Chinese speaker look like to me?
They're going to say they look like me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for them, they associate language with how you look. So I think it's a big problem for them to disassociate these two. That you can speak a language natively without being or looking like a quote unquote a native to that land. A lot of people are not even native to their lands and speak different languages than the natives. However, they are quote unquote considered natives.
But Chris, you have to understand one thing. Like information being free, they know.
What did you say?
Information.
Is information free in China?
I mean, look. If you want to go over these, the best VPN. Look, the best.
Okay,
the
I know
best VPN in the world.
Okay, VPN.
Are Chinese. So actually,
Not everyone knows VPN, especially people who think that native speakers can only be white.
I mean, they have this possibility, and they know actually that not only white Americans speak English. They know that for a fact.
I mean, Obama
They
is.
know that for a fact?
They do.
But they try that.
They do.
When you talk about Obama, though, because I had this experience, I was in Hangzhou. Let me say, when I was in Hangzhou, I was just in Hangzhou a couple of days ago.
They do.
And a man on the train, he knew everything about American politics, and he didn't speak a lick of English. He was talking about Obama, and I was like, yeah, Obama is the American president. He was like, but his father is from Kenya, but that makes him African. And I was like, this guy knows so much about American politics. This guy can tell me anything. He probably knows more than me. Doesn't speak a lick of Chinese or English, but he still considers Obama African because his father is Kenyan.
How did you talk to him if you didn't speak any?
I had a Chinese friend with me.
Okay, so let's
I was like, dang, you're Chinese.
I got a little Chinese.
You work at a translation office,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you speak fluent Chinese.
Pretty fun.
Pretty fluent, all right? So
Conversational.
perhaps you can...
No,
you can
she's not a Butsu. She's a very nice Chinese.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Anyway.
let's just say you nice with it. So you can speak.
Stick with it.
You can speak Chinese,
Okay.
and you work at a professional company organization.
Yes.
What is your perspective on the native English speakers, the white only advertisements? What is your perspective on that?
But that doesn't have anything to do with my job, though. Like when I'm sorry.
But I'm saying because
no, because I'm just saying like my
reverse.
job doesn't care about the whole.
All right, but I'm just saying from your perspective.
Okay, from my
transcending
perspective.
into other fields and occupations that place ads asking for that, requesting that.
I got you. I mean, I just feel like it's more about money than it's about like discrimination. And I feel like schools that do that are usually the schools that have the parents that are more ignorant. Like the parents are the ones who request this. You can have an entire staff and everyone who doesn't care about what color you are, but if a parent says no, I want a white teacher, I'm not coming to this school. I'm going to go to this other school where all the teachers are white. I looked at the reviews at one of the schools that I worked at once, and just because I was curious what the parents were saying about the school, and I saw one of the comments said, yeah, this is like a legit English speaking school because the teachers are white. Is what the comment I saw.
You shaking your head now. Why are you shaking your head?
I mean, it's disheartening.
It
That's
is.
the only word that I can really find.
It's sad.
It's disheartening. It's because the mission statement of these schools would be like, oh, we want to introduce the children to a global perspective,
Yes,
and we want them
exactly.
to I'm
Global white perspective.
Right?
Your
How are you
children
gonna
to be
learn?
introduced to
You're
a
gonna
global perspective, but
go to
you
America
want
and
them
freak
to
out.
just see white people and
Oh my
interact
God,
with
there's
white people.
here.
That is not the majority of the world.
What?
So that's not the majority of the
I think you're
world.
going to shock some people
not-
with that video.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of
blow
comments.
some
I'm
minds.
just saying. I mean, like,
What was he smoking? That's not racist, by the way.
I do want to bring something up about my
Those
job,
comments.
and I hope that nobody from my job sees this. But
They will.
Oh, they will.
They will.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Gonna be
Monday.
it's not that bad.
right?
But like, so we had one guy come for a position for teaching our employees English to kind of like sharpen up their English skills. And he was from America. He was Asian, Chinese, American, born Chinese. And he came in, he talked, and just like he was clearly American. And we had a conversation. And then he talked to my boss in Chinese. My boss doesn't really speak much English, but he says he has an ear for English.
Okay.
And so when the guy left, he like leaned into me and he was like, "How is his English?" I was like, "He's a native speaker.
What do you mean?
He's American." He's like, "Is he really American?" And I was just so shocked because he's like someone who's been around a lot of foreigners. Like he's not like some guy out in the country who's like never seen a foreigner before. Like he has an ear for language. When people come and do interviews, especially Chinese, he has a very high standard for the way he wants them to speak English. So I was just like, how? And it's just like the face of the guy is changing his perspective of what he's hearing. So he's literally hearing a different sound than what I'm hearing because the guy looks Chinese. And his Chinese was okay. Like when he spoke Chinese, it sounded like very close to native, but I could tell that he was not a native speaker. But my boss, I guess he heard like perfect speaking native English speaker, and he's like, "There's no way this guy is American."
Yeah.
So-
I feel like that's like really sad. I have a couple
So-
of friends like that here too.
So while I feel that black people have a hard time, a slightly harder time obviously than white people getting positions, Asian people must have the most difficult time
And I hear that all the time.
Returning.
Yeah.
getting any
Becoming
like
groups.
I've had like some Chinese ABC speakers ask me, "Hey, can you help me with getting jobs?" And I'm just like I don't even know what companies would accept them.
Yeah.
Like at least we have a foreign face.
But that's-
That's something.
But that's another video.
I know. I'm just saying it all plays into standards
We
and
gotta
money.
show, you gotta
and-
show the ABC some love. I got that. But I want Pi and then Terrence to comment on the comments on that commercial about the black people being sensitive and other people being sensitive about finding it offensive. Most of these I've noticed came from European
I had to leave a group
people actually in Europe, and they defended the ignorance and the ignorant point of view of the ignorant argument. I'm using ignorant 3 times because it was ignorant. And what do you feel? What do you two feel about? And then everybody else, please give your perspective on that.
Man,
what is it? What is it like?
Living in China for quite some time, you know, I could see how they can just like go over their head with it, but at the same time, just watching it, I cringed. I said, what? Hold up, nah. A couple people was around me. I said, man, do you see this? Like, what do you think about this? Like, I just want to know what you think about this. Cause right now, like, I'm like using every cuss word in the book. Like, what the hell is this? What is this? Like, if it was my sister or my brother or anyone, but like, you know, like. Yeah. Like I could actually grab and talk to, because I can't talk to the person that was in the video. Like I would have shook them up, like whoa.
Well, let me add, by the way, for anybody who didn't know that it's apparently the guy who was in the video did not know the ending was going to go the way it did. He gave the money back to the person who attempted to get back. I don't know if
See how it is.
Here's my thing with that. I have a comment about this guy. Okay.
For money.
When you go to do any kind of media, just like we're doing right now, you are well versed on what's going to happen and what the vision is about this thing.
Well, maybe they told him she's gonna put some candy in your mouth and you got paint on your face, so she's washing your head off.
You know how those jobs.
Maybe he didn't know he's gonna come out. You know,
like you go have a woman
if he really did not know, and only he can tell us. I mean, only he can know that he really did not know that they was gonna come out like that. You know what I mean? If he did not know, then that just shows how malicious that company is. And the people that to me is more malicious than the actual video itself. The fact that you tell a black person, oh, just come and just do this, you know, which is something that I've also ran into in China, you know, telling you what you need to hear to get you to do what they want you to do. So they can get that money. That's happened to me a lot. That's happened to me a lot.
That it was exactly copied from another video uplifting the color. You know, and the same background thing. It
was not uplifting. It was fetishizing.
All right, not uplifting.
Black men,
listen.
It was sexy.
Let's not go into that.
That's what it was.
Please.
All right, y'all.
Stiff and.
So you saw this hairy Caucasian guy. Caucasian guy. Then you seen this, you know, muscle-bound guy come out. You know, so then you copy that. You copy that exactly same tune in the background.
But the Chinese guy wasn't muscle bound.
But he was equivalent of a strong man in the West, though.
He
so
was.
They like skinny, slim, geeky-looking Chinese guys.
I've heard comments that this guy. I don't know if it's true or not. I've heard comments that he was not handsome.
I like Asian guys, and he wasn't handsome to me.
And
I was like, who is
girls
this?
like black guys, but we gonna talk about that somewhere else. Not all Chinese girls like those kind of guys.
What I'm saying is that I felt hurt for as a culture just to see that, and it's being broadcasted everywhere as accepted. It's accepted as if like we about to really market this and make millions because this is what we putting out and people going to accept it and they're going to like really like it. It's a positive marketing tool. When it really is not. It's like live it like to the soul. Like, man, what is this?
Like seriously, like the part, like I said in the conversation on WeChat, is what you're saying is black skin is dirty, and you need to wash it off. The color is dirt.
This is dirt,
and that is not okay. That is not okay. I mean, if the black guy was coming out cleaner and that would have been
That's what I was
fine.
expecting, actually.
That would have been fine.
This is like all normal thinking people or something.
Like you're telling people,
but
you have
Marcus,
Chinese
you
people
already-
giving you gifts. Like somebody will give you like whitening, cream product. I mean, at first you say, oh, maybe that's what she uses. No, she's telling you.
You need to fix
Let's
that.
look at this. Because somebody brought this to my attention, someone Chinese, they said that the education of a lot of the majority of the Chinese people are maybe probably not to a scholarly level. So they're probably the ones that are going to buy into that. They hear those kind of stereotypes all the time. That's what they're selling. That's their demographic.
But
and
how
it's
is
a
it
lot of
right?
people.
Are those people using
1.4
laundry
billion.
detergent like
But
that?
how is it?
So was that? It's not right, but that's who their demographic was, and we are as a global community seeing what the Chinese demographic of someone who's detergent companies sell to stay-home moms, right? That's their demographic of their commercials. This clothing detergent commercial was selling to the person that's gonna believe that black skin can actually come off if you wash it.
Oh my God.
Even if they don't believe it, they agree to the idea.
That was my
you
point. That's the
kidding me, man?
willingness to continue in that path. Like, and this is not okay. Like, this is really like when I saw this commercial, I think we were on the street somewhere, and I was speechless.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes.
But why should somebody
Wait,
care
did you
though,
like
Alex?
see
Why
it
should
like
somebody
in a
care if
billboard or
you're speechless?
something?
This is the.
No.
I'm curious
I was speechless for like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, how?
Yeah. Why?
Why?
Where's mom?
This.
Where's your mom?
Look,
Things that get said to you all the time.
like-
But Alex is
You hear
still
this
new,
every
China.
day. You see
Alex,
this all the
like,
time.
Alex still new.
like I had everything. Like we all went through like the same thing. Like the stare, the pictures, the skin, hang out, you tall, white.
You eat a lot of
You play
chocolate.
basketball, like all the serious. It's okay though, but to put it like actually in a commercial, and I just said like to target
Package it up
a demographic and to let them know that all right, black skin is actually dirt and you can wash it off.
And this is what I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers who is not Chinese, from America. I was saying I was just joking with her. I was like, I had a dream that we patented our skin. And just every black person in the world was just millionaires immediately. Like we just patented our skin, and that was it.
Started something.
Yo, you know they have a spray now. They have this spray now that actually makes their skin
Somebody black
dark.
better patent our skin.
Like, no, it's a fad coming. They have an actual spray. I saw it
Are you talking
online.
about
It is-
tanning spray?
It's like a tanning
but
spray,
look.
but it's supposed to make your skin dark without
Darker,
rubbing
Right.
off.
So this is the
Oh, it
joke. This
doesn't
was
come
the
off.
Yeah, and it's supposed to make you like
this
this.
is
Second
the
tattoo.
aha.
It doesn't come
This
off
is the
ever.
aha.
Not ever.
Let-
Maybe not ever. Yeah.
Melanin.
It helps you make melanin.
The aha.
Oh,
the
it
aha.
Melanin
helps
stick
you
together.
produce.
Wait, hold on, guys, hold on.
Yes.
Let's-
The aha, no problem. I know it's, the aha moment was just that, I remember making a comment. I'm like, these Asian people, they want to be white. Meanwhile, these white people, they trying to get tans. They want to look like us. So this just shows the confusion.
Right,
It's just a circle of madness and confusion. So white people want to look like us. Asian people want to look white. The same white people that these Asian people trying to look like, those same white people trying to look like us.
I think we can't generalize. We can't.
No, all right. That's true. We can't generalize. You're right.
Because
Maybe
there's some
not.
black people.
No.
There's black people.
No, you're right. You're right. And I should know
But
better.
how about
I
this
should know better.
though?
My point is just it just shows you. I mean, okay. So let me be correct. Okay. So the tan. I mean, tanning is not, especially in the Western world. Tanning is associated with wealth because people who have money travel overseas to places that are sunny. Escape the cold weather, go somewhere where it's warm,
Caribbean,
get a
sun
tan,
glow.
come back. I got money. That's the politically correct thing. Okay. So a lot of because that's a part of the Western culture and it's associated with wealth, most of the people who are not affluent, striving for affluence, want tans. It's like a statement, like look at me.
Or striving to be the president.
Right. And just the same thing with Asian people. But it's reverse. Especially in China, it's reverse. It's like having lighter skin is associated with affluence. You know, I don't work in the fields. I don't work with my hands. You know, I'm behind a computer, or I'm in a classroom, or I'm taking calls. You know, so it's just it's reversed. But they don't. But the thing is that in China they have no context. They have no context of how racism functions in the world. They don't understand how the ism, how it functions. They don't understand how.
Now,
yeah.
I want, because we got a few more minutes. I want for you, Natalie, and I want for API, and then everybody else. You know, do what you do. To talk about the Black and Chinese, or Black and Asian relationships, because it's, to my understanding, that it is taboo in Asia to discriminate or to probably demonize or tear down someone of European descent, because that's pretty much what the benchmark is for their standard of success in the culture. So you probably would never see an advertisement of something negatively portraying a bad stereotype about white people in Asia. I mean, I think we can probably agree on that one.
Right.
You probably would never see that in a million years. So for that commercial to come out to show a Black person in that light, I think it was pretty much like a spit in the face of the Black race of people, and saying that we don't care about a relationship with y'all. Because we wouldn't see that kind of a relationship, like I said, you wouldn't see that association with someone of European descent in a disrespectful or degrading way. But the fact that they did it with someone Black just pretty much says to that our whole race, it don't really matter. Now I know that this is tricky, because there are, of course, a lot of Chinese people. Our cameraman Justin is of course Chinese, and a lot of people right here, you know, are holding this whole establishment are Chinese, and they're doing a great job with us, staying late to do this video. But I want to talk about the relationship, because China is over in Africa, and they are, can I say it? But they're doing their thing over there.
Yeah.
And,
You know
what
what it is.
They colonize. They colonize.
And for that to be the relationship that there is, for them to make a commercial like that, to me is bullshit.
Can I say
Hold on. Let me because it's Natalie. But look. We know what's going on with the Chinese, with the Africans that come to China, the discrimination that they have to go through at the airports, with the discrimination with their passports and their visas to come over here and study and not be able to work while doing so they don't get enough money through scholarships, but they can't work to get extra money. So if they do something, they get deported. And I've had to send somebody some deportation money, so they don't get deported sometimes with mine, because I'm a cool dude like that. And the real problem is that there is a real problem with Black people in China. There is a real problem.
But what they doing?
Hold on.
What they doing in
But time out. Let me just interject here, because I agree with most of the things you just said. And the things that we have to stay on focus here is that this is not about China making this commercial. This is about a company willing to do whatever it takes, which is very common.
But it's not the
Which is very common. It's a company making a commercial,
doing the things with the Africans,
a very disrespectful commercial, making this commercial, airing it, doing whatever it takes to make money, to get their advertisement out there. And then people being okay with that. That's the issue here. But it's not China making this commercial. It's a company going out, deciding that this commercial is okay to make.
So
and then people accepting it that it's okay.
So
this
can
is
we
the issue.
politically correct and say that it's not China entirely? It's like we can never say it's America or anywhere else entirely doing this, but it's certain sectors, the government, a person, a company, and then who lives in China. Can we say that?
The issue is that people think it's okay. It's not okay.
All right.
But the issue is that it's a company.
Because I'm talking about the relationship between the Blacks and the Chinese. The Black mostly being African. I'm talking about that relationship between the two races, and how you compare the two between European and Chinese, and with Black and China. That's what I'm focusing on right now.
Yeah.
So
okay, so actually, I was talking about that with Alex yesterday, and something he made me realize was in China, Black Americans have something more than Africans. They are Americans.
American.
That's the difference. If that citizenship was to be taken away, then they have no leverage. Then that's another Black person that cannot speak English, that is poor, that we see on TV. I mean, ride horses, ride lions, I don't know, swim with sharks. I don't know what they think of Africa. But, like, the only leverage Americans have is they are American. Once you take that away, I mean, when you stop in the street, some of the Phaedra and Heron or whatever, and you're like, well, she make Warren.
Exactly.
Attitude change.
It's like
That's different. Like, oh my God, okay.
That's true.
Then you will hear all the state, California,
that's true.
New York.
That's true.
I mean, and if you go like Africa, okay.
Africa,
We give money to them every year.
Right.
You know, so that is really something that, and it's so sad. It's really sad because when you take that away, there's nothing else. Then you're just another black person who just
With a paper book.
you shouldn't even be here. I mean, I don't
But
know.
what is it really being African in China? What is that like? Because there's a lot of Chinese in Africa making money doing their thing.
Yeah.
What is it like being African in China?
I think I really I probably wouldn't know really how to describe that.
You got to describe it. You got one too many, and you got a lot of African people in trying to root for what you want to say. Maybe not you, but somebody you know. What's going on?
Let's go now.
No, but like you said, discrimination is real. Like I said, I remember when Ebola was still in fashion. I mean, you will be put in quarantine because even if you were flying from the States, they would just be like, Nigerian passport over here. We got to scan you for Ebola. And you're like, I'm coming from the States. What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
You know, so it's real. It's real. But that has to do with African governments just giving the latitude to Chinese people to do that.
Because I'm told a lot of Africans be out here wilding too sometimes.
You know, I mean, who is not wild? You know, the Russians are wild.
Oh, they're wild.
Okay, I just had to say
We got some Americans over here too.
I want you to say your
Who is not wild?
Somebody's gonna say that.
Russians are wild. I mean, they're into prostitution, drug dealing. I mean, nobody is over there harassing them. I mean, they're living the life. They're white.
Folks out of
but I feel like when a government knows how their people are treated in another country, but they still let Chinese people come into their, take over our lands, but it's okay. Mess up with do whatever you want to our people over there. That's not okay.
But they are in a position when those guys, those Chinese, when they are coming to those African countries, they're not coming empty-handed. They're coming with money. They're coming with. They're coming with money. They're coming with. Oh, we're gonna build this. We're gonna do this to the country. We're gonna hospital, whatever. But what they are taking, it's huge. And actually, the governments, they don't look at, I have some citizen over there, they are struggling or victim of racism. They don't even it's just, all right, we're just gonna have this, give us money, give us what we need, and that's where we're gonna start. And that's also another problem.
And then over time, we're just gonna wipe all the other BS under the rug.
Right.
But you know what? Right now, I actually read about this maybe about 6 months ago, but it's currently happening. There's some restaurants over in Kenya, right? And they're Chinese restaurants, okay? And they won't allow black people in the restaurant after maybe 5 o'clock.
But didn't they shut that down or something?
I think they just recently shut it down, but I heard about this nearly almost a year ago before I came to Shanghai.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah,
I just heard it.
they have Chinese restaurants run by Chinese people in Kenya, and they wouldn't allow black people, Kenyans, people who are native to that land, to even go into the restaurant after 5 because they're loud and they mess up things and who are.
All right, so let's do this. I want Naya give your final thought, and then I'm gonna close this out in prayer, because we all need it.
I think this was a productive discussion. I think it should end with us thinking about how we can be reflections of them to change their perspective, or for them to see that their way of thinking, their ideology is incorrect, or is flawed, or it's problematic. Just how Taryn, Taryn gave an example of how she almost put a mirror in front of him and showed him how he was disrespecting her. So if we can find a way to be a mirror ourselves, or to show them how what they're doing or how they're thinking is problematic and dehumanizing, then I think that can be, we can be agents of change. We can work towards them changing their perspective, one Chinese person at a time, maybe two, maybe three, But I mean, I just think it's always best to lead with a solution or a changing agent, something in our minds where we can be agents of change to do something better, because we can talk about it, but what are we really doing towards making sure that they understand that the way how they think is a problem.
And I would like to say as well that living in China once again is a wonderful opportunity, and I'm sure that everybody at this table is grateful for it, despite the racist or ignorant or just aggressive, I've seen that word being used, encounters. There is also warm-hearted, loving, I remember I seen a boy cry one time because his black friend left a year ago and he wasn't responding to none of his messages on Facebook or something, and he was crying. And this dude was like 21, so you don't get that kind of stuff where I'm from, so you get those things as well. It's a land full of contradictions here. And I think that the fact that this country is still developing, and they have had only 30 to maybe now going on 40 years of experience with foreigners here, there's still a huge generational gap. And because so many people are here, oftentimes they don't get the chance. A lot of people are still meeting black people, let alone somebody not Chinese, for the first time. And so based on whether it's filial piety or just hearsay of what they hear about us, we get the chance. We are blessed with the burden and responsibility to actually educate them and bring it to their front door, to get a chance to actually see what's true, what's not true, and to really be revolutionaries. I think that we're in an awesome position being here in China, and it's something that we definitely greatly appreciate. And like Niall said, we do have to take more time with Chinese people to give them a chance to heal, to learn, to teach, to educate. This is what we should do. Oftentimes they don't know things that we know, like Black history. One time I was told that Martin Luther King was the leader of the slaves who freed the blacks.
Oh my gosh.
And so who taught him that?
That's awesome.
Either someone Chinese or someone white from America or Spain or Australia or something, but not a black person. You see? So we're here and we have these opportunities, and it's an excellent time in the history of the world to do that. But I also wanted to say this real quick, and close it out, that us as people of color, as you see, we're in China, we're eating good, we're living pretty good. We got some crazy commercials, but we don't care about that shit. We go through all kind of interesting experiences, but I want for you all who are watching this as black people and non-black people to know that we are good.
Yes, we are.
We're good. We appreciate your gratitude. We appreciate your extending your concerns and saying, this is wrong, this isn't right. But we really got this. As people, we got this. We good. If we came together as the Pan-African community right now, everybody who's black in this world, we'd be good, if not better than we are today, as us together. So I want for everybody to take that idea and that perception that we're victims. We're not complaining. We don't feel victimized. We don't feel none of that stuff. We're good. We got this. We appreciate you. We don't really need we don't really need that. If anything, y'all need us. If anything, y'all need our resources. Right. Y'all need our labor. Y'all need our innovation. Y'all need our incarceration for government, whatever funding on a cheap way. Our hard work. Y'all need our culture. Y'all need us. So let's just make that clear. I want for y'all young black people, young black boys and girls watching this to understand that we have integrity. The world needs us. So don't never feel like, there's some racist shit going on in China or wherever else in the world. We need to feel like we need to be submissive or humble or, it's just life is so hard and messed up. Nah, it's the reciprocated version of that. The world needs us. So I want y'all to understand that. And really, I'm just gonna leave it right there, So respect that. Respect us. Everybody in the world, respect black people.
Put some respect
put some respect on our name.
Still
As soon as we get together, and if we do say we ain't messing with the rest of y'all, it's just us. Y'all really gonna be tripping. The life as you know it now, without us, is gonna be completely different. Y'all gonna have to start doing all that stuff yourself. And we are well qualified to do that. So I just want to make sure that was said. And the food got cold, but
Come to China, black people.
Yeah, please come to China, black people.
Please come to China.
Please.
We are actually, we have these different things that happen, but in general, like my experience coming from Akron, Ohio, coming from Akron, Ohio to Shanghai, I am living better in Shanghai than I'm living in America. I'm making money, I'm paying my bills, I can do things, I can save money, and I don't have to worry, like for the first time in a long time. Like when I think about going home, I think about struggle and depression, honestly. And when I'm here, like it's a completely different thing. So I would say if you are in America and it's not working for you, don't think like you failed or anything. You just need to have a change of scenery. Get your passport, please. Get your passport.
Yeah, get your passport.
Get your passport. Lord have mercy. Please get your look. I'm looking at you. Get your passport. Come to China.
Come to China.
Hit me up or something, because I will help everybody.
Because we
will all help everybody.
Yeah, don't let them think that it's all bad here just because that commercial.
It's important to have a positive message. Because I had someone message me recently, and she said, before I saw your video, I was not going to come to China. She's like, all the videos she saw on YouTube with black people were all like negative, racism, I hate Chinese people, are racist. She's like, I wasn't going to come, and I saw your video, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to come to China now. So it's really important to have a positive message.
All right, we want to thank the crew over at the Grapevine, the channel on YouTube, for inspiring this discussion. We also want to shout out Tariq Nasheed at TariqRadio.com. You guys go check out Hidden Colors, those DVDs. And
I can't stress on the hazards. If it happened, it happened. When I'm blasting, they tagging bodies and counting the plastic. I'm like half of the whole world be stressing about fashion. I'm just eating my ramen noodles from the studio trapping. See, I don't hate on nobody. I write music and love them all. Call a game like I see it, baby. I always get too involved. I pray that I never fall in the shadow of death. I look the devil in the eye like you get no respect. You ain't a man if another man is cutting your check. These Dame Dash interviews got me going that next. I wanna leave something behind.